This webinar is going to show you how to set up a Zoom meeting so that you'll be able to broadcast out to your students, or if you are a business that needs to host an online meeting. You can see during this time they do have a COVID-19 support page. Their homepage is generally just the zoom.us, and you will need to go there to create your free account. Once you have that, you'll go ahead and sign in. Okay, so when you sign in, this is the page view that you're going to get, and you're going to want to schedule a new meeting. You can name that meeting. If you're a teacher, maybe you want to name it your reading class or whatever this situation is. Put a brief description if you like. You do need to say the date and the time of your meeting. I will leave this one at this as a default. You can also put how long that meeting is going to last. Now, honestly, you could put 6 hours and then only use it 30 minutes. That's really irrelevant. Do pick your time zones. So in my case, I am Central Time Zone. And do you want this to be a recurring meeting? For example, are you going to have your reading class every day at 1 o'clock? How many days do you want to repeat it? Or how many occurrences do you want to repeat it? You have some options there that you can do. So you would only need to set it up once, and the link that you receive can be used over and over again for that recurring meeting. Generally, I do not set any kind of a password. And this video means when your group logs in to the meeting, are they going to see you right away? You would click on, or not, meaning you would just have like a little icon that would show up for your image. And the same for your participants. Do you want to see them right away, or do you want to have that turned off? It's your preference on what you like to do. I generally tend to put myself on so that they know that I'm present, and I'll allow them to turn on their video or turn it off, depending on what they would like. For the audio, I like to select both. There are times people do not have a good connection, so their computer audio would not be that strong. They could still join you from a computer, but then call in to a telephone number that is automatically created for the account, for that meeting specifically. I do put enable join before host. That way if they click in 10 minutes early and you weren't going to log in until 5 minutes early, that way they will actually have something there to be able to log in and know that the system is working and they're in the right place. I also like to click this one, mute participants upon entry. And that's a very important one because a lot of times people don't realize that as soon as they join the meeting, they are live and broadcasting out to everyone who's there. So if their phone is ringing, their dogs are barking, their children are screaming, we would all know that. So if you would set up mute upon entry, that's an awesome default. And then when they want to talk to you, they're able to turn that off and open up their microphone. If this is something that you will need later, for example, if you're a teacher and everyone may not be able to get on at 1 p.m., I like to go ahead and record onto my computer. And that way I have a recording at the end of the session that I can then post to YouTube or somewhere else where my students would be able to come back and view it later. And then go ahead and save that. We've set the meeting up. So this is what it looks like as a set meeting. It's telling us it's going to be March 20th at 1 p.m. Central Time, every day for 7 occurrences. Now here's a nice thing. We can add it to our calendars automatically. So let me choose my Google Calendar. And it's going to set it up as an appointment on my Google Calendar like this. Here's my reading class. This is the link that everybody is going to use. That's set as the location of the meeting. It says it's going to email them 10 minutes prior to the class. You can have it do another notification if you like. Then it has this information on the bottom about the meeting. This is in the description. If they're going to join with an app, they need this part here, the meeting ID, because when they click on the Zoom app, it asks them what meeting do they want to join. And then we have, you'll notice that these numbers match. So this 415 matches this 415 down here. So the link has that meeting room embedded in it. This meeting ID is what the people who use an app will need. Now, if they're going to call in and join you by phone, that's what these phone numbers are at the bottom. Okay. Now, a nice thing here is you can add your other guest in. So if I wanted to invite someone else, I can choose their names, add them in, and it will automatically send an invitation out to them. Now, down here, what do I want my guests to do? Do I want them to be able to modify the event? No, so I'm not going to check that. Depending on your situation, you may want to allow them to invite others, and you may or may not want them to see the guest list. It's your choice on how much information you're sharing out with them. And then you would click Save, and that meeting is going to be added to the calendar. So now in my weekly calendar, this has showed up as a link for the reading class. And here's the direct link that I can click to join my meeting. And so can my guests. My guests have the same invitation. They too can join this link. Now I'm going to make a part 2 video that will show you what to do once you're in the session.